Live from New York, the show that isn't running to be the new head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks. It's first things first.
I've got an idea.
We have the same idea.
Lamar Jackson.
I'm
just saying.
You've said that for 12 teams, bro.
So I need to hire the brother.
I don't think he's getting a job.
Today.
Not a terrible idea.
Thank you.
Not a terrible idea.
We start with the AFC Championship. Ravens favored by 3.5 points Sunday at 3 o'clock brew. The Ravens are used to going into people's homes and making sandwiches, putting their feet up, having a soda pop. They will also invite you over, eat a sandwich in front of you, not even offer you a small bite. Analytically, this is represented in point differential. Best in the league and top 4 since 2000. Lamar on there twice. No team has won the Super Bowl, but impressive regular season. So, Brew, do the Ravens deserve to be favorites?
This is really the question.
Yeah, we agreed on it 5 hours ago.
I'm still, for 5 hours, I've been like, really?
Yeah.
They agree? No. Yes, they should be the favorites. I'll be surprised if Nick Wright doesn't even say they should be the favorites. Now, the Chiefs obviously are a tough foe, and it's going to be a tough game. But to say they shouldn't be the favorites is ridiculous. Let me count the ways they should be the favorites.
This is what I was
Number
hoping
one.
for yesterday, and instead we got a foot-long sub. This is the Brews analysis.
This is a coaching analysis.
Let me hear it.
Best record in the league, the Baltimore Ravens.
That's good.
All right. Best defense in the league, the Baltimore Ravens. In fact, the first team, and you know this, Nick, ever in the history of the NFL to lead the league in scoring defense, takeaways, and sacks. All right. First team since 1996 to have the number 1 scoring defense and the first team all-pro quarterback, Lamar Jackson. And guess what that team in 96 did? The Packers.
They won the
Super Bowl. All right. So, and they beat 7 playoff teams by an average of 22 points a game. This includes last week's playoff game against Houston.
Playoff team.
They obviously have the presumed MVP. They're at home. They got a Super Bowl winning coach. This is no disrespect, I don't think, to the Chiefs. Yes, they should be favorite.
Okay. That was very cogent.
That's not bad.
That made a lot of sense. If I was as sarcastic as Brew when I make those types of points, I would have even said that was cute. Because it was well done.
It was true.
So I have a much more basic analysis, Wildes.
Yeah.
Is it the playoffs right now?
Yeah.
Are the Chiefs playing Tom Brady?
No.
Well, then no, they shouldn't.
Are they playing
be
Joe
the
Burrow?
underdogs. Well, so no.
I'm just like
So here's the thing. I don't bring this up a lot because it hurts Mahomes' GOAT argument that eventually we will be making.
Right.
But outside of playing Tom Brady, he's 13-1 in the playoffs.
There you go.
And that one loss, by the way, was in overtime by 3 points, which would mean the 3.5 is certainly too much. And Brew brought up good stats about the Ravens' defense. What is true is, in my opinion, there were 2 defenses that you could make a case were the best in football this year. That you could make a case right now. Now that we've seen, because Cleveland
got the case for the Chiefs.
Okay, so the Baltimore,
that they're the best.
The Baltimore Ravens were number 6 in yards, number 1 in scoring, number 1 in sacks. Okay. The Chiefs were number 2 in yards, number 2 in scoring, number 2 in sacks. So they were 0.8 points per game behind Baltimore and 20 yards per game ahead of Baltimore. The sacks were 60 to 57. And so if we are looking at it from that perspective, and while the Ravens played more
tougher schedule,
they played better teams. The Chiefs played better quarterbacks. And so when you look at it, and I know you did, Brew, because you've studied it, and I know you looked at it, the playoff teams the Ravens beat, what they were missing was the great quarterbacks that we think are great. Stroud this week, absolutely.
Stafford.
And so Stafford, by the way, the defense didn't play well in the game against Stafford.
Right.
I would argue the defense didn't play well, and it was 37-31. Yeah. And so, to me, I believe the defenses are a wash. And if you want to give the tiniest of edges to Baltimore, that's fine, but I don't think you think it is a substantial edge.
I just think they're better.
So then no. So, because the Chiefs' question was their offense, and they have solved it. The Chiefs stopped punting. I can't say they stopped turning the ball over because of the goal line fumble, but they have cleaned that up. Mahomes has cleaned it up.
Yep.
Rashee Rice has been the guy that when they didn't go out and sign a receiver, it was because they didn't want to have someone kind of slow his evolution over the course of the year. Kelsey, who looked like, is he entering a different phase of his career, has been excellent. I think he was excellent, oddly, in the first playoff game as well as far as getting open, but he was dropping the football. And in this weekend's playoff game, he was great. And so if the Chiefs are in the postseason and they're not playing Tom Brady, no one should be a favorite.
Well, hold on. Cincinnati beat them, obviously, with Joe Burrow.
Yes.
And here's the other thing. Look, quickly, the defense, yes, it's a good defense. There's no doubt. It is a top defense in the league. I do think Baltimore's is, I don't want to say significantly better, but clearly better.
Okay.
I think they are the better defense. And the Chiefs, I don't know that Mahomes you obviously trust, but I'm not sure the offense is soft. Number one, you were facing an injury-depleted defense against Miami, an injury-depleted defense against Buffalo. And then on the other side of the ball, I saw Buffalo run at will. I mean, they ran for almost 200 yards. They ran at will.
Did you just a lot of head right now, not that much heart? You know what I'm saying? Not that much heart from you. So I want to open that up right now because you're the first person
I love Mahomes.
See, here we go. That's why. And earlier this year, you were like, you know what? When Mahomes has the ball, I don't feel like he's that guy. And next thing you know, best passer rating of the year, most deep throw completions of the year, Kelsey's first multiple touchdown game of the year.
9 yards per play, the best of any game in the
So heart-wise, were you like, oh, there he is, my old friend?
Yes, but what I understand is that you don't win it every year, no matter how good. Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Tom Brady, you don't win it every year.
Maybe next year.
I think Baltimore is looking great, and Kansas City's looking good right now, but I just think they're going to get beat.
So I want to be very clear here on what I'm saying, because I do not feel about this game the way I felt about the Bills game. I was shocked the Bills game was as close as it was. I thought the touchdown that they could have gotten at the end would have been more in line with how I thought that game was going to go, as far as the Chiefs being able to score in the mid-30s.
The Chiefs clearly were moving on them, but they were moving on the Chiefs
You and I view what the Bills did offensively very differently, and I'm not saying I'm right, you're wrong, we just view it differently. I viewed the Bills as falling exactly into the Chiefs' game plan, which was we will give you death by 1,000 cuts, let you do that to us, because A, we believe you're going to get antsy and make a mistake, and they did in the fake punt, and they did on the Josh Allen fumble. The Chiefs just didn't scoop it up. As long as we don't get beat over the head for those bam touchdowns. And so the reason I think the Bills ran as well as they did was the same reason why it's one of the only games in the Allen era they didn't have a single chunk play. I think they were giving them that to take away the other. But the point that I was trying to make here in reference to that is, I do not think it is out of the realm of possibility Baltimore wins. I think Baltimore is excellent. I think Lamar has played as the best version of Lamar Jackson is the one we have gotten this year, and he's coming off his greatest postseason moment by a mile. This is not, can Baltimore win, what I'm trying to say. What I'm saying is no one deserves to be the favorites over a healthy Chiefs team. Until proven otherwise, if you are 13-1 in the postseason, and can we show quickly the pre-Super Bowl numbers? Because you're right, Brew, they don't win it every year. But LeBron did go every year. Jordan went every year. Jordan actually won all 6 of those years as well. But Mahomes, before the Super Bowl, is as close to a perfect player as there is. And the 2 losses were in overtime. One of them, he didn't get the ball and they didn't change the rules for him. And the other was by 3 points in the one playoff game that he made some significant errors in. Those 3 picks, 2 of them were in the second half of one game. So my point is, no one should be favored. Even if they can win, I don't think that when the Chiefs come in healthy with Mahomes operating the way he is and a great defense, not a good defense, a great defense, I think the line is wrong. It doesn't mean Baltimore can't win, my opinion.
All right, Lamar Jackson was in a must-win game against the Texans, and the good news is he won. Jamison Hensley writing that he vanquished his playoff narrative in one game. Jackson shattered the narrative that he couldn't win in the postseason after just one playoff victory in his first 5 seasons. Here's Lamar. If they do win, it's not going to be surprising. Does Lamar need to beat the Chiefs?
I sense the Chiefs guys
I'm just saying
hedging.
Y'all
want to come over?
I've considered it.
Yeah, I mean, why?
I offered this to you a month
No,
ago.
no.
They've kicked you out.
That's a good
Exactly.
point.
Yeah.
How long does he have to come over to my side?
Well,
End of the week?
right now he's an NFL orphan, so he can go wherever he wants.
Look,
Yeah, but
I'm giving you
the
tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay.
tomorrow's the deadline.
Tomorrow's the
Okay.
deadline.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you.
What's the question?
Oh, the official question. Does Lamar need to beat
excited.
the Chiefs to officially rewrite the underwhelming playoff performer narrative?
No. Look, there's never any shame in losing to Patrick Mahomes. I mean, you just showed us the numbers you've been showing us. If you lose to Mahomes, I said it yesterday. Do we slight Patrick Ewing because you lost to Michael Jordan? No. So if he loses to Mahomes, assuming he plays fairly
Doesn't
well.
melt down.
Yeah, then no, there's no shame. Now, I think a few things need to be. I think he did dispel the myth that he can't play well or win in the playoffs. One, I don't think people. I think they focus on his style of play. That he is, even though now he would be maybe a throwing quarterback, he runs. He's a running quarterback too. But I think we have to stop saying you can't win as a running quarterback. He obviously is in the AFC Championship game. Jalen Hurts a year ago in the Super Bowl and comes within 3 points of winning the Super Bowl or tying it, or 4 points of winning it. So I think we need to. It's a new day. If Josh Allen, if the Bills had one, heck, the last 7 weeks he was darn near a running quarterback.
Yeah.
Okay, and so I think we need to get rid of that. And secondly, Nick, the 1-3 record before this weekend. He wasn't as good a quarterback.
That's right.
He was more of a one-dimensional quarterback. The offense was more one-dimensional. So a team with time to prepare for the playoffs, they zeroed in on that. Now he's better. The offense is more versatile, and the receivers are better. So I don't think it's fair at all.
Nick, do you need to see him have a great game? So the game I pulled up was Russ when he beat the Chiefs. They won 24-9. He threw 12 completions for 114 yards.
No.
He had 3 touchdowns.
No. I don't know. It's the AFC Championship game. I don't care how he plays.
You think you could have like a 95-yard game?
Oh, well, I don't. By the way,
85 yards off
I
the
think
ground
he
and
could have a 100-yard game and they lose, and the narrative's still dead. Listen, Lamar Jackson is now a Hall of Famer. He's got 2 league MVPs. I'm counting this year's. He's going to win it.
Yeah.
It was a weird conversation surrounding him because he was discussed as if he had never won a playoff game. He had, but he had never played well in a playoff game. I didn't actually, it would have been a weird spot. Like, could he have played great and they lose that Houston team? Probably not. But say that had happened, that would have gone a long ways as well. I just needed to see him be awesome in the playoffs. And not only was he awesome in the playoffs, I think it was under the best possible circumstances because it was not a blowout. It was his defense dominated in the first half, but that punt return changed the tenor of the game. And that halftime, you had to be tight. I don't care what anybody says. That is a nervous 12 minutes at M&T Bank for the fans and for the players. Like, sweet, this is not happening again. But to Brew's point, this was his first playoff game during the prime of his career. I think that's, that's another way to look at it because he was injured the last 2 years. And he was awesome in the second half. He led them. Now, the defense was so good, he probably didn't have to be. But to me, the narrative's dead, especially because he has not ascended to a level of where he is chasing ghosts, right, like Mahomes is. Mahomes is chasing Brady, and I think that's it. Other people would say Brady and Montana, Manning, whatever. He's just chasing his contemporaries. And look around the league. Not a lot of guys who have been further than this round he's about to play in. Like Stafford has, obviously, but he's a generation kind of older. Burrow has gotten 1 game further than this. Hurts has gotten 1 game further than this. Josh Allen has gotten to this game 1 time. Justin Herbert has never gotten this far or even close to it. Dak has never gotten this far. The young guys, CJ and Jordan, obviously, they're yet to get this far. Kirk Cousins hasn't. Tua hasn't. Trevor hasn't. So who's he competing with? Like, and if the conversation is, does he need to win this game if we want to at some point to be able to have a could he be the best quarterback in the league conversation? He needs to win this game, and a lot more stuff has to happen. Yeah. But other than Mahomes, who's the guy out there like, oh, that guy's got so many more pelts on the wall than Lamar? Like Burrow, because he's gotten one round further, I guess, but Lamar's been such a better regular season performer. Right. So I think that one game did change the narrative, and I think that's fair. Like, he needed to be great. He was great.
Okay. We haven't heard any trash talk.
Kelsey. The Kelsey brothers are such maniacs.
All right, go.
Well, listen, I'm bummed out. I would like someone on Baltimore to talk trash. I'm relying on you, Odell. Somebody's got to do it. The closest thing to trash talking from Baltimore we've gotten is the Jimmy's Seafood Restaurant talking trash about my hair. But I'm not on the team, and they're not on the team, so we can't put them on the bulletin board. I thought about it. Even had Dusty print out their logo. Thought maybe we could get Bruce some crab out of it or something, but no. Because here's the thing. The bulletin board has been vindictive.
Oh.
It has taken down damn near everyone. Mm-hmm. And
that's true.
Deion Dawkins, we didn't focus on this part of it yesterday, but if we run what could have been the most crucial play of the game, when Josh Allen misses, is it Shakir in the end zone? Yeah, I don't remember.
Shakir.
Deion Dawkins gets walked back into him by Chris Jones, and that's one of the reasons Josh maybe doesn't make that full throw. Chris had, on a third down earlier in the game, batted down and passed, and then on that play, walks Deion Dawkins into Josh Allen. So the bulletin board has been a very, very problematic place to be, and I think it is smart that the Ravens, it's early, I don't expect them to show up on it. I think the Ravens are too well coached. I think the culture's too good. And I think that, again, maybe, I don't know who it would be. I don't expect to hear from Roquan Smith or Patrick Queen or Kyle Hamilton, certainly not Lamar, trash talk about the Chiefs. And I think that's smart because I do think it adds a little extra fire to a team that seems to thrive on it.
Well, I agree with you in that. I don't expect them to say anything. Like you said, that's not their culture. We know OBJ in the past, but he's not, in the position. Yes. If he came out and said something, I know they love OBJ there, but it just would be out of place. Yep. They're not. And I also think now, obviously, the Bills respected the Chiefs too, but I think there's a really healthy respect here. Even Mahomes, after the game on the field, he was asked about Baltimore, and he was like, no weaknesses there. Like, there's a real respect there. So I'll be surprised. I just don't think you'll hear trash talk from either. And they haven't faced each other a lot.
Correct.
So it's not even like that feeling of a rivalry where you might get a little trash talk.
Want me to have a can of worms conversation? This topic we're going to try to jam in. This could be a full-on podcast. We'll try to do it in 30 seconds. Did you see Clark Hunt there in the background?
Oh, I didn't see him.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, exactly. It's good culture. You like the
I
totally
owner agree.
In the background? That's a championship culture.
He's right behind Mahomes, looking at him like high schooler.
With the scarf on.
Is that how you like the owner?
That's how it is.
Okay.
Look, let me say, Jerry Jones, quick message. I hope Jerry's watching. Jerry, this is what Jerry doesn't understand.
Yeah.
If you win, if we don't hear a peep from you next season at all, and you win the Super Bowl, guess who gets the credit? Jerry Jones.
That's right.
You will be the one they hand the Lombardi trophy to. You will get praise. So just sit back next year and relax.
Counterpoint, Clark Hunt has won 2 Super Bowls in the last 5 years. The leader of the dynasty and Brood didn't even know what he looked like. So
no,
maybe,
I didn't know what he looked like. I thought that was like
maybe there's something ridiculous.
I thought that was a PR guy.
Exactly. Maybe there's a method to the madness. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.